morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Cold Winnipeg again, 18.3 minus. I guess I should have said minus 18.3 Celsius. Okay, I've had a busy morning. Not here. I just got back from the hospital, had my CAT scan. Yeah, I don't even have a cat. Anyway, that went really well. The traffic wasn't too bad early in the morning, and found a place to park right near the front door. The problem is it seems that if I've got to have a procedure at the hospital, the procedure is always at the other end of the hospital. And you know, the hospitals, they seem to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger as the years go by. Yeah, I thought it seemed like it was going to take me forever. That hallway, I almost needed binoculars to see the other end of it. Well, that's what it felt like anyway. Enough complaining here. Okay, I had an interesting afternoon, late afternoon. So I'm sitting in front of my computer and I'm sort of checking over my email, and the cell phone is with an outfit here in Canada called Rogers. Turns out their records go back to the year 2000 with me. I thought I had it a little longer than that, but maybe not. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I'm reading the email, and about 3 months ago they sent a notice to say they were going to cancel the pay-as-you-go, and I just sort of ignored it. And I thought, well, let it go. You know, I'll update this phone, which I haven't done yet. And so anyway, they sent out a second notice, and they extended it to the 20th of February, which is like in about just 10 days. And so I thought, you know what, I've got nothing better to do. It was either that or watch Jeff Donahue build something, when he's pretty good, by the way. No offense, Jeff, I was just making a little joke there. Okay, yeah, so I'm sitting there in front of my computer and I'm thinking, well, why don't I phone the toll-free number and find out what's going on? And so I did. Am I ever glad I called? Yes, they're canceling this. Not the phone, but I mean their pay-as-you-go. But it's no longer $10 a month. It's $5 a month. Not only that, but because I had so much money rolled over, you know, like if you don't use it, the $10 gets added onto the next month and the next month and the next month. I think you can make a maximum of $9 a month, because there is $1, I think, for the emergency services or something they charge. I don't know. Anyway, so I had $600 and something dollars, rolled over in credit. So she says, what we're going to do is we're going to send you a gift certificate for $400. And you can use it to pay your cable bill or whatever. And she says, and we're going to give you your $5 a month phone for the first year free. So I says, when something sounds too good to be true, it's usually too good to be true. What's the catch? She says there's no catch. It's just a certain people who've been with them for many years and have had this pay-as-you-go. They're making this offer. She says even I can't get it. So I'm watching my emails and keeping an eye on my MasterCard account, you know, because they automatically take it out of the MasterCard. And sure enough, I get an email from them. Well, actually, several emails. But the last one I just read here this morning, you have been switched over to the $5 a month. Amount owing $0. So I've had this for, I'm guessing, 10 or 11 years. Original battery. I'm noticing that the battery doesn't keep its charge very long. So this morning I went on Amazon and ordered a new battery. It'll be here Thursday. Anyway, isn't this supposed to be a model ship show? Or at least a submarine? Okay, so today what I plan to do is I'm going to paint the pedestals the Mr. Hobby 338, so it'll match most of the light gray. In other words, they're not going to be a whole lot different than what they are right now. And then I'm going to glue them on the bottom so that when I lift the submarine up, they don't fall off of it. And then probably on this one here, on the far side, I'm going to drill a hole so that I can run the power cable down to through it. And when a person's standing looking at this thing sitting on the shelf on the wall, you don't see any wires anywhere, not even going down into the shelf or base or whatever it's going to be. The base, I've decided I am going to have a push button. I think I mentioned that before, and people were saying, well, you should have a switch because then you could leave it on. No, I think I'm just going to have a push button, because if I have a switch, I'm going to switch it on and forget about it. I'm going to have dead batteries, because that's what I'm going to use. I'm just going to use a couple of AA batteries probably. And then you push the button. If you want to see it lit up, you push the button. Yeah. That's the way it's going to go. Anyway, I sound a little bit excited here. Well, I am, because everything went so good. The roads were slippery, but hey, I got studded winter tires all around. I don't need to worry. Yeah, it was a fun ride. Okay. Yeah. Oh, another thing I got to do is I guess I got to get the strut. I guess you'd call this thing the strut on the diving plane on the other side. Could do that today, but and then the wire's done, and then once those three things are done, or two things, it's going to be just putting stuff on the top, and we're finished, except for the shelf. Then I'll be taking you down in the workshop. I think some of you have never been down there. I've got a dream woodworking shop. Actually, metal too. I've got a welder, a metal lathe. You know, anything a tinkerer likes to do, he can do downstairs. Yeah. So why am I not down there more? I don't know. Okay. Let's get at it here. Okay, I'll be the first to admit, all of this stuff, it looks terrible. And this is sort of, if I can get my finger out of the way here, this is kind of what I'm talking about when I'm saying hiding it on the back side. By the way, this is the back side of the sub. I got it turned over now. So we're going to try and conceal it along the edge there. Probably I'll just sort of spot it in with CA glue, CA thick, and then use the curing agent to quickly cure it. And I realize that there's a chance that when I'm winding everything up and trying to make it, small, that I could get a short. So I'm going to be periodically checking as I go. I think there's a good chance that it's not going to happen. Okay, so what I was starting to do here, and then I got sidetracked with this. These bases have to go on, and you notice that what you do is you sort of slip them on, because it's tapers down to nothing here, and then I think from about here that way, it stays the same thickness. But I was wondering, are these also tapered? But I don't think so. This is going to be the first time I'm checking them. I don't think they are. I think they're the same on both sides. Okay. No, they're identical. They're not tapered more one way than the other. Although maybe. I don't know. It seems like it's a little bit wider this way than this way. So let's try this one here. I'm making a mountain out of a molehill here, aren't I? I mean, like, who cares? Well, I do, because I want to try and get them the right way around. No, I would say they're the same. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and paint these with the 338, and then wedge them on and glue them in place, and then that's where they're going to be. And I guess on one of them I'll have to drill a hole so that the wires, or the wire, pardon my boarding house reach here. Okay, yeah, I'm going to be using this stuff here to run to the battery. So I guess what we'll have to do is hook into this dog's breakfast here, and then run the wire back, or maybe it could run ahead because it might be less distance. Yeah, go the shortest distance, and then down through the bottom here, and then drill a hole in the shelf that I'm going to make, yeah, we'll figure something out. Years ago, what I would have done in a case like this, when it comes to making the shelf, I'd have run off to the lumber yard and I'd have probably bought a piece of walnut or something like that and really done it up fancy. I'm just going to go down my workshop and find a piece of anything. Yeah, yeah. As long as it's wide enough to, to catch this, that's all I need, because it's all going to be sort of all out in the open, collecting dust. Hey, that's all right. The joy in something like this, yeah, it's nice to be able to push the button and have it light up and look at it. But the joy was the build. There's no question about it. I think it's I would say it's 90% or more. The joy of this modeling is the actual building and thinking about it, and in some cases researching it. I know a lot more about these subs now than I did a year and a half ago. Okay, let's continue on here. Yep, it's garbage day in Winnipeg. Must be Monday. This blue tack, I think I bought that way back when I did the Bismarck. So I've had it for a long time. It just never seems to harden. Remember plasticine when you're a kid? Okay. Now, I just wipe these things down, so get all the fingerprints off them so they'll paint nice and easy, more or less. Okay. There. Yeah, got a bit of a handhold here now. Oh, there's going to be no Missy the dog today. I just saw Max come back about 10 minutes ago from his dentist appointment, and he says, I won't be coming over later, so alrighty. Oh, I did drill a hole here. The idea will be that we'll be able to pass the wire through more or less inconspicuously, and this hole is sort of up in the side here. I think it comes to right about here. This one. So okay, let's get our paint shook up here. I did stir it a little while ago, so I think we're ready to go. Yeah, maybe I'll play painting music. When I originally opened this a few minutes ago, before I stirred it, I had to use the heat gun on the cap to get it to loosen up. And that's a real neat trick. Okay, I still have not gotten myself a larger paintbrush. This is the widest one I've got. And if I'm going to be doing a lot of, I'm thinking about doing the entire USS Enterprise with a paintbrush, just to see if I can do it. Now, mind you, I don't know, being as that the airbrush does do a much better job than a paintbrush, I don't know if I want to risk doing a poor job on Nigel's ship boats. So I'll have to check and see. I don't know if they're going to be painted or what. This is going to take 2 coats. We have to do around the top here because the hull is going to be resting on there. I've already checked. This is sort of a semi-gloss when you brush it. When you spray it, it's much more matted. To do the bottom edge either. That's going to be going on the shelf. For bubbles here. If I can get the light to reflect really good, just right, you can see the bubbles. I think I got most of them. Well, I got to be careful now. It's at the point where that if I try to brush it now, it's going to make it worse. Yeah, like that. Okay, let's let that dry. I'm just going to do the other one exactly the same way. Maybe better. Okay, this build has not been without interesting little pouffages. Okay, I hope I'm going to be able to get this on as well as the one on the other side went. So far it looks good. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. Okay, and a bouffon was that you can see here that the shutter door for the torpedo accidentally got pushed in, and unfortunately I couldn't push it back out. Now I suppose what I could do is I could drill a hole, put a screw in, and maybe pull it. But I'm not gonna go to all that work. This is the back side of the sub anyway. We're not gonna see that. And you know what? I think that what was happening was the captain said partially open the torpedo shutter door. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, now. Let's try not to make a big mess here and have it run all the way down the hull. I've already got to do a little bit of repainting here. This happened when I was trying to glue the door back in place. Alrighty, so now this does not have to be particularly strong. It just has to hold in place there. It's only for looks. It's not actually to, to actually do anything. Ooh! Where's one of Gabe's swabs here? Yeah, I don't want it to go running down. Okay, maybe what I should do is, like I did on the other one, just sort of moisten this a little bit here. The reason I put extra glue on is so that we can get everything to sort of meld into place. Yeah. Oh, I can't see the... Sorry to be getting my fingers in your way here. Maybe if I put this on first, would that work? Okay, now let's just sort of work it into place here. Yeah, that's about it. That's about as straight as it's going to get. Now once again we're going to just put just a little sniff. That's all it's going to take. Okay, now let's not poke at that. Maybe what I can do here is when I touch this up, forget what number this is. I think it's the number 20 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, when I touch this up, I can fix that at the same time. I don't know why, though. No one's going to see it. But I'm going to know, right? Okay, as it turns out, it was the 337 that we had used. And I'm going to try and use the same paint that I used with the airbrush. Now, I realize that this has been airbrushed, and this fix-up is going to be paintbrushed. So all right, it's okay right here. So there's no use painting right there. Let's just try and fix this up. Maybe I should use a smaller brush right there, or maybe not. No, this has been thinned. Okay, I think that'll cover that. Once again, not that we're going to see it anyway. Now hopefully when this dries, it's going to just sort of... Yeah, I think it's going to be okay. I'm sort of looking straight on at it, and you can see that it's different. Now this door up here, it's a little blotchy, a little bit blotchy. Sort of dry brush it a little bit here. Don't know if that's going to help or not. Or am I just going to make it worse? Well, once it's dry, I guess we'll soon know. I'm afraid of putting it on too heavy. Okay, let's just leave that. Yeah, quit poking at it. Okay, stuff has been happening here today and time has marched on, and we are not going to have time for the box opening. We're going to have to save that for tomorrow. I want to do a good job on it. Actually, I want to go through the USS Enterprise kit and pull out the ship's boats. Like, I'm sure you know what this package is all about, right? This is from Nigel Frampton in the UK. And, getting something from Nigel is sort of like let's say you were a hockey fan and Wayne Gretzky was going to send you one of his hockey sticks. Well, to me, Nigel Frampton is the Wayne Gretzky of model making. Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow. But anyway, I got a winder up here for today. Going to go through the Enterprise kit and try and find the boats so we can compare. I haven't opened this little package yet. We're going to do that live on camera tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.